That tapping noise on a freezing morning? Piston slap. Your piston's slamming against cylinder walls because oil hasn't reached them yet. Keep idling in the driveway and you're fast-tracking a $4,000 top-end rebuild. I'm a DIY expert, not a pro mechanic, but I've seen this destroy engines over and over. Today I show you exactly what's destroying your engine and the 30-second fix that actually works. But here's the real killer. There's a silent chemical reaction happening in your oil pan right now that's dissolving your bearings. Stick around, I'll show you how to spot it with one simple sniff test. Section 1. Why cold starts destroy engines. Here's what's actually happening when you turn that key. Most drivers think oil is already protecting the engine. It's not. At 0 Fahrenheit, your oil flows thick as refrigerated honey. Think of it like trying to suck a milkshake through a straw that's been in the freezer for 3 hours. That's your oil pump working against 10 times thicker fluid. For the first 30 seconds, metal parts run with almost zero lubrication, while the oil pump pushes that thick fluid through tiny passages. It doesn't reach bearings, pistons, or cylinder walls fast enough. Parts are running dry. Metal contracts when cold. Pistons, bearings, cylinder walls don't fit together properly yet. When you rev a cold engine, contracted parts slam against each other. That tapping noise is piston slap. Metal scraping away from metal, scoring cylinder walls. That's damage happening in real time. Fuel doesn't atomize properly when it's cold. Instead of a fine mist, it's like throwing water balloons. Unburned fuel seeps past piston rings and dilutes your oil. This is the real killer. Fuel mixing with oil, especially when combined with moisture from combustion byproducts, creates acids. Those acids corrode internals. They eat away at bearings and cylinder walls. This is oil dilution, and it happens fastest during the first 5 minutes of every cold start. Your battery only delivers 50% of its normal power at 0 Fahrenheit. The starter has to work twice as hard with half the electrical power. This forces the engine to crank slower. Slower cranking means more time running without lubrication. Every second counts. Pro tip: if you drive a manual, keep the clutch pedal down when you start. It disconnects the frozen gearbox oil and lets the starter spin faster with less resistance. All these problems hit simultaneously. For the first 30 seconds to 5 minutes, your engine is at maximum vulnerability. At 0 Fahrenheit, oil can take up to 5 minutes just to circulate properly. Thick oil, contracted metal, poor fuel burn, weak battery. This is the danger zone. This is where 90% of cold start damage happens. By the time you notice something's wrong, rough idle, check engine light, you've already done the damage. By then, you've got a problem that costs thousands to fix. You might think idling is the safe way to warm up. It was. In 1974. I'm about to show you why doing that to a 2024 engine is like feeding it slow-acting poison. Section 2. The idling myth and what actually works. Your grandfather wasn't lying. He was driving a carburetor that needed heat. Your modern fuel-injected engine? Completely different. It has one enemy: idling. Now here's where most people get it wrong. Extended idling is a carbureted engine myth from decades ago. Modern fuel injection changed everything. When your engine idles cold, it runs rich. Your ECU is deliberately dumping extra fuel to heat up the catalytic converter fast for emissions compliance. Extra fuel maintains a stable idle and prevents stalling. That's correct. But here's the problem. At idle, your engine doesn't generate enough heat to reach operating temperature quickly. That excess fuel doesn't burn completely. Why? Because the engine is too cold. You're sitting there trying to warm up your engine while your ECU is running rich, dumping extra fuel that never fully burns. Oil dilution is the silent killer. Fuel mixing with oil creates sludge. It creates acids. Both eat away at bearings and cylinder walls. Here's the test most mechanics won't tell you about. Pull your dipstick after a cold idle session and smell it. If it reeks like a gas station, you've already lost. That's raw fuel literally eating your bearings from the inside out. Pause the video. Go to your garage right now and try it. Does your oil smell like a pump? Drop a comment and let me know. Idling also causes blow-by. Combustion gases push past cold piston rings into the crankcase. This creates excess pressure. That excess pressure forces oil out through seals and gaskets. You get leaks. You get oil loss. The correct sequence is simple. Start the engine. Here's your 30-second routine. Seatbelt on, mirrors adjusted, radio selected. By the time you've picked your first song, your oil has made its full lap through the engine. Then drive gently. Gentle driving warms the engine faster and more evenly than sitting still ever could. Keep RPM under 2500 for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Avoid full throttle until the temperature gauge reaches normal. Your engine doesn't need an idle warm-up. It needs load. Load generates heat without damage. Load warms the oil faster. For turbocharged engines, here's the 60-second rule that prevents a $2,500 turbo failure. After you start, wait 60 seconds minimum before boost. Oil needs time to reach turbo bearings. Cold oil can't protect them. Don't blast your cabin heat immediately. Most people do this the second they get in. That's a mistake. I'll show you the exact spot on your temp gauge where it's finally safe. That heater pulls warmth from the engine block that it needs to reach operating temperature. Keep heat off or low for the first 5 minutes. Watch for the quarter mark on your temp gauge. That's your signal. But keep your eyes on the road first. Once it hits that line, you're safe to turn the heat up without stealing heat from the engine. I know some of you are going to hate me for saying keep the heat off. Are you a freeze for the engine person, or do you blast it immediately? Let's settle this in the comments. The fix is simple. Here's your 4-step formula for a 300,000-mile engine. 1. Start. 2. Wait 30 seconds. 3. Drive gently. Keep RPM under 2500 for 5 to 10 minutes. 4. Heater stays off until the quarter mark. This one habit can save up to 25,000 miles of wear on your engine. Stop idling in the driveway. Start moving and let the engine warm under light load. Your wallet and your engine will thank you. Hit subscribe for more fixes that actually work.